Okay, chat, we're good to get things underway now. Again, apologies for making a dumb mistake and not fixing the teams like I was supposed to overnight, but our rosters are good to go. Our scouting staff have also been optimized. I optimized chats first because you had a worse record than I did last year, so hopefully the scouting department looks pretty good for you guys. That said, the rosters are going to be interesting here. Again, your first season in Vancouver. The old Vancouver A's. And what I want to do is hit sim to the beginning of the season. This is what Chat's team looks like in Season 2. Again, representing Team North America. It is Yuri Perez, who started off on my Marlins, but of course gets dropped. You signed Max Scherzer, hilariously enough. Then it drops off from there. Peter Solomon, Royber Salinas. Again, I don't care about specifics with filler players. It doesn't matter that you have a Venezuelan filler player, right? That doesn't matter. Ty Blacksher as well. The bullpen for you guys leaves a little bit to be desired, I would say. But Yuri Perez, that was a damn good signing for you guys. It was a damn good signing for you guys. Your lineup is Juan Soto and his band of merry men. As Perez was your free agent pitching signing, and Soto was obviously your position player signing. Again, you have Juan Soto signed forever and ever, amen, on a front-loaded deal as well. So, and why not have him on a front-loaded deal? Because the team around him is going to suck for a while. But, yeah, there you go. Juan Soto was there. Let Soto lead off. Hey, that's the manager's choice. We're all hands off with this. Now, the interesting thing is my team, because again, since you guys finished worse than me last year, I signed your free agents first, meaning you have lower overall players and are more likely to get a higher draft pick again. For myself, that is not the case, as the only starting pitchers that were left are veterans like Trevor Williams, Patrick Corbin, Ross Stripling, Lance Lynn, Charlie Morton. That's going to hurt me. I imagine I'm going to pick up a couple more wins than you guys are just due to the fact that I don't have 50 or even like a 40 rated starter. My bullpen sucks. But, yeah, those veteran starters are probably going to hurt me quite a bit. So that sucks. Of course, I also signed Yusei Kikuchi because his player picture makes me laugh every time. Look at that man. Look at him. Look at him. Isn't it beautiful? That said, my lineup isn't looking all that good. I did sign Gleyber Torres and Gio Urshela, and outside of that, there's not much else. So Gleyber Torres needs to be my Juan Soto, and yeah, I don't think that's going to work out too well for me. But I have Gleyber signed for pretty much the rest of his prime. So there you go. We are pretty much ready to go for the start of this season. A look at the top prospect list. Damon Kaufman of the Cubs is the #1 prospect in baseball right now. Of course, we did look at this yesterday, but you guys have that starting pitcher that you drafted, Jim David, making his debut at number 15. So not a bad spot for old Jim David to be in. And of course, we'll see if and when the time comes, if the Marlins were to move, we might update some things about your look, Jersey Stadium and stuff like that based on conversation that happened last night. But for now, it's all about the draft still. The draft and free agency in these early seasons before we get anywhere near the playoffs. Although you guys do currently have a better record than the Houston Astros. The Marlins are 2-6, by the way. So we got to look at how scouting is going to have to go for both of our sides here early on. It is going to be the same thing again, with you guys getting like a base level look at pretty much everybody, since every position is a position of need. And of course, I only have to scout international, which is nice. For that reason, I am going to try out Discovery this year to see if that proves to be beneficial to me at all. I don't know if that'll be the case. But for you guys, again, we'll just handle it the same way that we handled it last year. It makes a lot of sense. Of course, you still, because we didn't do USA versus the world, you do still have to scout international because there will be Canadian players that are eligible for you guys to take that you wouldn't have the information on otherwise. So just a reminder in terms of how things are working here in this particular challenge. Question was asked. Damon Kaufman is American out of California. You cannot outright trade for him. We did set up your trade block as well, just to say, hey, what offers could you get? I think I forgot to set up my trade block. Not like there's much there right now. But there you go. I'll just put my 3 actual dudes. Warrior, we pretty much do every night. Yeah, so. Wow, Lance Lynn already dropped 3 overall points. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see that. Will it be my last season in Miami? That is the question. A couple new pitchers discovered. Okay. Can you find me any catchers? Any extra catchers? That's the question there. And actually, in fairness, that's not going to help with discovery. That only helps with interest. For you guys, it'll be international pitchers and then start to take a look at relievers. Like I said, the scouting is going to have to be this way for you guys until you start to fill out the team a bit. And then you'll be able to start being a bit more specific with the scouting like we've done before. So, see, we march, we move through another week. Couple more wins for Miami at 5-16. The A's down at 4-17. Not a great start. 1 catcher discovered. Boy, that was worth the time, wasn't it? Why do I feel like I'm going to regret these 4 weeks of discovery? That could end up being a very bad decision on my part to try discovery, but hey, now's the time in the early stages to start messing around with stuff like that, you know? Now's the time. The A's get their 5th win of the season. And let's finish looking up at closers here. Oops, you had closer in the West. Closer East and closer international. Imagine the top prospect being available to you. I mean, that's probably going to happen for one of us at some point. So, all right, and then outfield to wrap up the weeks of discovery. Both of our teams are getting a couple of wins here and there. I'm going to be intrigued to see how our star players' attributes are looking. So for me, let's reset this list. Scout positions, starting pitcher, international, across the board. Have all 3 scouts get as much info as they can. And for you guys, you're off to position players. Catcher in the West, Central, and East. There we go. Let's see what else you guys can find here. Who's going to hit 10 wins first? Probably me. You guys get a win against the Angels. I don't know why chat's teams just automatically own the Angels, but that seems to be a thing in the show 24. So that's good to know. Let's see, that's a lot of people scouted. I guess all 3 of them would have given me information on the same 31 prospects, which is pretty nice. Going to do international next. And we sim another week. Yeah, I'm already up to 11 wins this year. There's no way I'm going to be able to out-tank you guys. I mean, right now it's a 3-win difference, but there's just no way I'm going to be able to out-tank chat. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Let's see. So you need first base East, first base International, second base West. And we keep marching. Again, the early stages, the regular season. All that matters is how many losses we accrue. It's not really much to get invested in. Not at all. I haven't heard this song in forever. Jesus. Shout out to De La Soul. Let's see. So really quickly, does that give me more information on those 7 closers than if all 3 scouts are looking at them? Yes, it does. Okay. At least on some... Yeah, it does. It does give me more information on those guys than just one would, so that's good. All right, let's see. Scout positions. Catchers International. There was another Juan Soto, was there? I missed him. Catcher International. And Catcher International. What batting stance do you have for Waluigi? Leroy, I'd have to double check. It's a modified stance for somebody. I don't remember if it was the Craig Council stance or if I changed it from there. So, I am not sure at the moment because we messed around with it quite a bit to try and perfect it. 11 wins for you guys this year, by the way. How about that? How about that? Let's see. Third base West. Third base Central. Third base East. All right, got the catchers looked at. First base. I should have enough time to scout everybody. I should. It's actually going to be kind of close because of Discovery. It's worth a shot. Why not? Shout out to Viper getting a Mookie Betts from a Mookie Betts pack. Imagine. I really wish you could turn those notifications off. I really wish you could. You guys are on shortstops now. You can. Oh, can you? Well, then I should, shouldn't I? They don't make it obvious for where the hell they put that information, do they? Because I didn't see it when I went through the settings, but I could have missed it. Apparently I did miss it. I should have enough time. God, is Discovery just a complete waste of time? That's the question. I was hoping it wouldn't be this year. But it might be. Just due to a limited amount of time. Just remove friends. That's fair. That's friends. Shout out to ACX. Or just AC. Thank you for the ball. Welcome in. Do you think Soto's regret signing with us yet? Give him more time to regret it, you know? Let's see. Shortstop International. Left field West. All right. We march, we move. 14 wins for Miami, 14 wins for the A's. I might actually be able to out-tank you guys, which really shouldn't be possible. And I am definitely not going to have enough time to fully scout out the outfield here. I'm going to be 1 week short. So I don't think Discovery is going to be a big thing for me throughout this challenge. I don't think so. Soto's ruining it. We'll look at his stats just before the draft. Got to give him more time to settle in, you know? You guys do have 17 wins, though. You certainly wouldn't have that without him. Sportmaster, what's going on? Okay. Well, that's a first from you. Fair enough. Our resident troll. How many did we have in season 1? Not this many. Not this many. Yeah, see, I only got 2 weeks. Let's go left field, center field, right field, and international. We'll handle it that way. That works for me. You better draft America first. I can't. You guys better draft America first. You are also just not going to have enough time to scout everything, huh? Where's Coco? Being a traitor to America by not living in America. Peter Fairbanks has been traded to the Padres for Alex Verdugo and Glenn Otto. Take him to the Matthews Bridge. All right, here we go. The final week of scouting. So yeah, you guys are just not going to have enough time. How aren't you going to have enough time? You had enough time last year. Did we accidentally double scout something? Huh. Well, then in right field, it makes the most sense to just take a look at who the top right fielders are. And if they're eligible to scout them. There's a couple of 18-year-olds, and of course those guys are always just best guess. Hope for the best. There is Pablo Torres at 21. That guy's definitely worth looking at. And you could argue Eddie Rosario at 20. Anybody else who's up there in age a bit that has an interesting potential? Not really. So yeah, honestly, right field's not looking that great. You can go for Rosario. That's not too bad. So that'll be the setup for chat. And then for myself, the final week of scouting, I'm going to have to look at outfielders here that might be half decent. Esteban Gonzalez, high risk, high reward. Chuck Zimmer out of Cuba. He's not eligible anyway. Gomez doesn't look that good. Robert Nishi will be available, but Christ, he's going to be terrible. Sam Valley out of Venezuela, but he's 18. Dan Chavez out of Venezuela. Roberto Freitas looks terrible. Crespo looks terrible. Center field, do I have anything? Canadian Rob Parnell, so I can't even draft him. Shout out to Ricky Scully. Yikes. Not a good year for outfielders. From what I'm seeing, Panama is also not available to me, so that sucks. All right, not a good draft for outfielders. So at the top of the board, Federico Pena, Carmen Pena, Venezuela and Cuba. So I could go after Federico. I cannot go after Carmen Pena. So we'll go after Federico. Martin Lopez, Dominican. Can't get him. Will Comstock is Dutch. He's a big risk. He's a big risk from the looks of it. Big risk. Ramon Aparicio, Venezuela. Okay. Another starting pitcher. Roger Gall from the Dominican. Jose Blanco out of Mexico. I can't go for that guy either. Juan Soto, Venezuela. Fuck you, Chad. He's mine. You can't have him. Miguel Quiones. Ooh. Also out of Venezuela. I'm going to look at him too. And Dave Ullman out of Canada. Ramon Vega Ramos. Cuba. I can't go for him. John Slaughter, Dominican. Fuck. Easton Velasquez doesn't look very good. He's out of Jamaica. I can't bring him in either. Esteban Gonzalez, Dominican. Sawyer Marmion, Canada. Fuck. Phil Soto, Dominican. Oh, dude, I am screwed, aren't I? Australia, Lewis Iden. Oh, boy. This challenge is... This challenge not being USA versus the world is a rough spot for me to be in. Let me tell you. Oscar Cedeno, ultimate utility man, but out of the Dominican. Freddie Hansen, a Dutch third baseman. Let's look at him. Jamaica is technically considered a part of North America. I know, it's a bitch, isn't it? It's an absolute bitch. What a pain in the ass. Dylan Cease on his way. That's impossible. The Red Sox getting starting pitching? That's impossible. Imagine. For Nick York, Victor Gonzalez, and Alan Castro. The Red Sox actually got starting pitching. Crazy. We're a day out from the draft. Let's take a look at some numbers. The A's with 18 wins. The Marlins with 17. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here. For your rotation, Yuri Perez. Jesus Christ. Yuri Perez is having a hell of a season for you guys. Again, had we left the rosters where they were, I still would have had him, but it wouldn't have fit the theme. Yuri Perez is having like a Cy Young caliber season right now. He is fucking crushing it. Only 48 innings pitched, though. He must have been hurt. He's crushing it. A 5 ERA for Scherzer. 5 for Solomon. A 7 for Salinas. And nearly a 7 for McBride. How are things looking for Juan Soto? He's got 59 RBI, you know? You know? Hey, Endo. No. Juan Soto looking pretty damn good. 24 home runs, 59 RBIs, a 1.0 OPS. I mean, Juan Soto's having an MVP caliber season. That's insane. The next highest batting average on the team is a 250 in 68 at-bats for Gene Ramirez. So really, it's the DH Andre McQueen at a 226. It really is Juan Soto and a band of unmarried men. For myself, Yusei Kikuchi has honestly done pretty well. You know? Kikuchi's had a good season. The old Kikuchi. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And then in terms of the lineup, how's... Uh-oh. Well, Gio has a 259 average. Glaber fractured his shin after 66 games. And an 814 OPS at the plate before that. That's not good. Or maybe it is. That would explain why I probably don't have a better record then. So to the draft we go. 2025 entry draft. If I'm not mistaken, you guys won the lottery and I moved down thanks to Milwaukee. That is exactly what happened. The Vancouver A's with the first overall pick. My Marlins at 5. So here we go, chat. You have the number 1 overall selection. In terms of the top players at the, well, top half of the board, you got starting pitcher Juan Baroa out of Puerto Rico. So he is eligible. Federico Pena is not. Stay the fuck away from him. You can't draft him. But there is Baroa. There's a starting pitcher, Adrian Salgado at 21. Certainly looks promising. Who else do you have interest on? You don't have interest on Blanco, but he is eligible. The 18-year-old Mexican pitcher. There's also Roger Gall out of the Dominicans, so he's eligible too. Starting pitcher Henry Caballero out of Illinois. So towards the top half of the board, it's a lot of high-risk, high-reward pitchers, including Felipe Ballesteros out of California. Then starting pitcher Robbie Medwick out of Pennsylvania. It's a lot of pitching in the top half of this draft, apparently. You can't get Ramon Aparicio. Sam Monticelli out of California, a closer. Richard Melendez, closer out of North Carolina. Miguel Quiones out of Venezuela. Stay away from him. Albert Kessler out of Missouri. So the first position player we see is a high-risk, high-reward left fielder, Sean Yeager out of Kentucky. So unless you want to go for a pitcher, you can't go for Acosta. Third baseman, Freddie Hansen, you can't go for him either. He's Dutch. So, and then a Texas shortstop who's apparently all defense. So, chat, I mean, it's either Sean Yeager as a position player, or you go at the very top of the board here. The projected first overall pick is a starting pitcher eligible to you guys, Juan Baroa. Through 23% scouted, your scouts agree he should be the first overall pick. Through 23%. Do you go for Juan Baroa or look elsewhere at the likes of Adrian Salgado, Jose Blanco? Baroa seems to be the pick. Going once on Juan Baroa. Going twice. And Juan is the pick. Chat's first overall selection. The starting pitcher, Juan Baroa. It still shows him in the old Oakland uniform. That's funny. Well, that's an interesting little glitch. Let me screenshot that really quickly. And Oakland will never die. They'll never die. With the second overall pick, the Pittsburgh Pirates selects Federico Pena, who did not fall to me at number 5. That sucks. To be expected. It looks like I have a couple of players that are worthy of a top 5 pick, so I'm okay with it. And third overall, the Rockies select Robbie Medwick, the starter. All right, so it's Milwaukee at 4 as the team I have to worry about here. Who are they going to take? Yeah, my scouts really liked Federico Pena. They take Adrian Salgado out of California. All right, so who do I have available here? High risk, high reward starter Carmen Pena. He's from Cuba. I can't get him. Martin Lopez, Dominican. I can't get him. Miguel Quiones, Venezuelan. I can draft him. Aparicio. I could draft him too. Catcher Will Comstock, the Dutchman. Starter Roger Gall, Dominican. I can't get him. Lozano's out of Bama. Jose Blanco's a Mexican. I can't get him. Juan Soto I could draft. Alfonso Acosta, Venezuela. Dude, it's literally turning into Venezuela to glory. Cuba is defined as North American, yeah. You wouldn't think so, but it is. But it is. Dave Ullman's out of Canada, so I can't get him. Vega Ramos, Cuba. Can't get him. John Slaughter, Dominican. This really should have been USA versus the world, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Jamaica for Velasquez. Dominican. Canada. Dominican. Jesus Christ. Iden's out of Australia, at least. Sanchez, Puerto Rico. Mamula was out of Canada. Chuck Zimmer's out of Cuba. Parnell was Canadian. Cedeno's Dominican. Freddie Hansen, you opened this can of worms. No, you guys did. Half of you didn't even know what countries were eligible, okay? David Feliz. Gio Pena's out of the Dominican. Dominican, Puerto Rico. Dominican. Whew, Dominican. Venezuela. Dude, it's Hugh Idiom is how I read that. It's Hugh Item. Most of us tried to give you the islands. Yeah, because you wanted an excuse in case you lost. William Koo out of Chinese Taipei. I'm obviously right now just trying to get my list together. It's a little bit easier for me to do that as opposed to you guys due to my limited options here. There's a lot of Canadians in this draft. Shout out to the Real Bacon for the follow, by the way. Welcome in. Ooh, Dutch Guy Cassidy or Guy Cassidy, perhaps. Ray Gomez. Oh, man. Cuba, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican, Japan. Very few Japanese players in this draft for me. Not too happy about that. I got more Dutch options than Japanese options. Figure that shit out. Ain't that a bitch? Panama. That technically goes to Chad as well. Hate it here. I'm aware I have 50 seconds, by the way. I am almost through this list. If it takes the first player on my board, I'm perfectly okay with that. Cuba, Netherlands again, Venezuela again. Shout out to Brad Moon, what a name. Pena's out of Cuba. And then I'm back to the start. So Quiones. Aparicio or Comstock? I feel like I should go with Comstock. Just gotta risk it, although Juan Soto would be funny, but he's only 40% scouted. I am going to go for the catcher, Will Comstock. High risk, high reward as an 18-year-old catcher. But Will Comstock, the Dutchman, is my guy. Panama is included in North America. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, because it would be easier for me, but I don't make the rules. Isn't Panama Central? Look. Look. Take it up with Wikipedia. Take it up with Wikipedia that has Panama listed right here in the list of countries, dependencies, and other territories that are included in North America. Take it up with the internet. Anyway, Jose Blanco's off the board. Felipe Valladares. Curacao is also yours. Listed as Kingdom of the Netherlands, but yeah, Curacao is also included. Again, guys, just the list is there. The list is there. Literally, that's it. What do you want me to do? Let's see. Who gets the next pick here? It's going to be my team at pick number 37. I don't really expect too many people to fall down the order here. So that is what it is. Let's just sim ahead here. I'm not too worried about the rest of the first round, really. We'll look at how good players are afterwards. We do both get a competitive balance pick, though. For me, no high-end starters, but there are still the relievers of Quiones. 77 to an 89, 72 to 84 overall, so probably a B with a high overall. Juan Soto was high risk, high reward. Miguel Perez as a third baseman, only 40% scouted. I'd love to trust that, but I don't think I can. And William Koo as a starter. E. Cassidy. I'm going to go... Oh, man. I'm going to go for a bit more of the sure thing. I'm going to take the Venezuelan, who my scouts had 7th. I'm going to go for Miguel Quiones. And I will get a closer to follow up with that catcher pick. So not too bad. Chat's up next at 40. And that left fielder, Sean Yeager, is still on the board. Any disagreement about taking the high-risk, high-reward pick for Sean Yeager? If I'm not mistaken, I mean, you got Ullman out of Canada. He is the highest projected player left by your scouting department. Because there's Ullman, there's Wilson. Soto's out there, but you can't take him. You want to go for Yeager. I mean, looking at these potentials, it's a lot of young 18-year-old players that are high risk, high reward. I mean, there's no like safe bet already at this point of the draft. I mean, maybe the closer Ramon Vega Ramos. Very high chance of him being a B, though. There's really no such thing as a sure thing right now. There is the 20-year-old shortstop Warner Sanchez out of Massachusetts. His attributes, though, were a little bit shaky. There's also shortstop Oscar Cedeno at 21. Good utility man, but doesn't look like he's very good at the plate. But has a good chance of being an A. He's going to be at least a B if that's right. Parnell in center, again, not great at the plate, good defensively. So, again, if you want to go for the 2 left at the top, only 50% scouted for Ullman, the Canadian. Or do you go for the Kentuckian Sean Yeager? What do you guys think? I'm still seeing a lot of Yeager out there. Any disagreements to go for Yeager? What do you guys think? It's your pick. Who do you risk it on? Who do you risk it on? Looks like Yeager is going to get the win here. Sean Yeager. They don't go... Hey, there he goes. Now he's in the uni. They don't go for the home countryman. They go to Kentucky. Now, I have the first pick of the next round. Ooh, Juan Soto is still there. Well, that's tremendous news for me. I am going to quickly draft Juan Soto, another reliever. Wasn't ranked. My scouts like him quite a bit. We'll hope for the best there. Chat, your next pick. You actually don't have one in round 2 because you signed Juan Soto. So no second round pick for chat. Let's see. What the hell just happened there? Yeah, no second round pick for chat. No competitive balance round B or compensation pick. Your next pick is the first pick of the 3rd round. So we'll skip ahead to that. Keep in mind, chat, you're only going to have a minute. You're only going to have a minute. So here we go. Avi England out of Illinois, 77/98 at 19 years old. Vaughn Charles as a shortstop out of the Dominican, 67/98 at 18. Steve Gomez, the overall is a little bit less. Julio Figueroa out of New York at catcher, 76/98 at 19 years old. James McGee out of Pennsylvania, high risk, high reward. Sandy St. John, also high risk, high reward. What do you guys think? 2 starters and then plenty of other position options. I'm seeing votes for Avi, for Vaughn. What do you guys think? You got 17 seconds. Avi's ahead. He is first on the list as well. Is Avi England the guy out of Illinois? Looks like Avi's the guy then. We'll let the AI pick him. He's at the top of the board. Avi England on his way to Vancouver. That brings me up next. Let's see. Perez, high risk, high reward. A little bit scary. William Koo's also pretty scary. Guy Cassidy, Robert Nishi, Sam Valley. Don't know if I trust that. Sam Valley does have the highest potential left. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to go for 3rd baseman out of Venezuela. Miguel Perez is my guy. I'm going to hope for the best there. Come on down, Miguel. Let's see. The next pick belongs to you guys. Start of round 4. None of the players we just looked at are still available. Skipping over Medeiros in case you want to try to find someone with a higher chance of being an A. That would leave catcher Lonnie Duarte. Ned Moody out of Louisiana. High risk, high reward, 18-year-old. Shortstop Reggie Daly. High risk, high reward. Your Jorge Castaneda is also there. Robbie Comiskey, the Canadian center fielder. And North Carolina's Floyd Horton. What do you guys think? I see Ned. I see Duarte. Ned and Duarte, the 2 mentioned so far. Another vote for Duarte, the catcher. Comiskey. Duarte. Looks like Lonnie Duarte out of Ohio is going to be the pick here for Vancouver. For my Marlins, William Koo, Guy Cassidy, Robert Nishi, Sam Valley. I am going to go for William Koo out of Chinese Taipei. Oh, Billy Koo, come on down. Next pick will be Chats. We'll see if any of those guys are left. Floyd Horton is there, 66/98 at 18 years old. Who else has a 90? Edgar Rodriguez out of New York, the first baseman, 66/98. Samuel Gwynn out of Maryland, 60/92. That was a bit further down. 66/98 for Albert Ellis. What do you guys think? You got Floyd, Edgar. So Floyd's on top. Another vote for Horton as center field. And the North Carolina man. Switch hitter. Looks like it is going to be Horton in the 5th round for chat. Floyd Horton goes to the A's. For myself, Sam Valley. Perfect time. Another, dude, it's literally turning into Venezuela to glory. This is insane. Sam Valley, welcome in. And that'll bring us to the 6th round. Chat's final pick. Let's see. Anybody with a 90? There is Ryan Sams at a New York. Good chance of being a B. Darius Humphrey out of Texas in right field. Waylon Connell out of California. Like super high risk, high reward for him. Phil Soto out of the Dominican, 64/99. Rodriguez, eligible. Vasquez out of Puerto Rico. John Slaughter out of the Dominican. Any disagreements on John Slaughter based on that attribute spread? What do you guys think? I saw Connell mentioned. You don't have too much time. You don't have too much time. Slaughter's the guy for chat. The third baseman out of the Dominican. Super high risk, high reward. 0% scouted, but hey, if it's accurate. And for me, Alan Parker, Felipe Gonzalez, Francisco Robles, Jeffrey Worth, and Enrique Acosta. Well, it's either Alan Parker or Felipe Gonzalez. For me, it's going to be the reliever, Felipe Gonzalez. That's my final pick. Yet another Venezuelan. Because damn it, chat, you can't have enough Venezuelans on a baseball team, is what I'm learning.